Hello again, and welcome back to another edition of the Wiccan Conservative. So, of course, I was scrolling through the news again today and came across another instance of that dreaded, what's that? Voter fraud that doesn't exist. So, this is an interesting take on exactly what's going on with our election system to keep the theme of this week. The wrong ballots were sent to hoary voters. Republicans reject a call for new county election. This is coming out of the Sun News out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Horry County Republicans on Thursday tossed a complaint by defeated city council chairman candidate Mark Lazarus over the integrity of a June 28th runoff election that he lost, saying his appeal wasn't filed within a time frame allowed by a 1962 state law. Lazarus, who lost the contest by 240 votes to incumbent Johnny Gardner, said that a glitch sent 1,377 Republican voters Democratic ballots and may have shifted the outcome of the race. Now, of course, we have been told that this stuff is just absolutely impossible. It cannot happen. And this is not what's happening with our election proceedings. But here we are coming out of South Carolina, and we are finding out that this did happen, and it was brought to the attention of the officials. It's a shame that the 1,377 disenfranchised voters weren't able to be represented today, Lazarus told the Sun News shortly after the county GOP's executive committee voted 40-5 to dismiss his appeal. Gardner, who first beat Lazarus in 2018 for the council's top seat, took 50.6% of the June 28 vote. Days before the late June contest, 1,377 GOP voters got ballots meant for Democrats, an error county election officials blamed on the printing and mailing process from West Columbia-based Sun Solutions. How does a error ballot get printed? Oh, well, that's because the people of that area are not responsible for making and sending out those ballots. The election was solid. There was nothing wrong with the election, Gardner told the Sun News Thursday. The ballots were clear. Everyone understood what they were doing. To go the other way would be nothing but pure speculation. So how do we then prove that this happened? How do we then make sure that it doesn't happen again? Lazarus initially went to the county voter registration board with his concerns a day after the result, but was denied. So he did go within the time frame, just the day after the result. But let's continue reading. The next step for him was to appeal directly to the Horry County GOP. Under an obscure state law penned 60 years ago, protests for elections of county officers need to be submitted to party chairs, not later than noon Monday after a race is certified. For Lazarus, that would have been the holiday. But Jared Bouchette, Gardner's attorney, said the statute makes no exception for holidays. See, this is where people start to really doubt this process, and really you're not making a good case for free and fair elections. You're really making a case for a biased proceeding. Horry County GOP leader Roger Slagle told the committee Thursday he did not receive a copy of Lazarus' complaint until July 5th. So again, when we are talking about him going to voice his concerns the day after the result, they are told him that he is denied. They are now putting him under this obscure regulation. This is how they keep the regular people like you and I from even attempting to run for office. Because even if we were to garner the support that would get our names onto a ballot, now we have to battle the bureaucracy of counting these ballots and who is going to qualify for what. Nick Costanzos, a member of the county's executive committee, said ignoring the state law would violate his party's platform. I'm kind of perplexed how we can take the vote away from the people, he said, from Journey Church in Murrells Inlet, where Thursday's meeting took place. Mr. Gardner followed the rules. He won. We are a nation of laws. We are Republicans, and as Republicans, we believe in the rule of law. Yes, we do believe in the rule of law when that law is in compliance with the Constitution. So if you have a bunch of people who are eligible to vote and are given a ballot without the candidates of their choosing on that ballot, what, sir, is the law in that particular instance? Because it sounds a lot to me like you are pressuring a certain type of vote. And they're going with it. They don't mind the idea of allowing somebody else to take over these choices for them because that's how they're told it's done. That's how they are told that this process has gone for decades. And I want to bring your attention to Lila Hart on YouTube. You can catch her live at her comedy shows. She posts videos about her garden, and she is actually running what seems to be a American history of voter fraud and trying to bring the attention of voter fraud in American history to the American people. Now, this is an extremely long video because we are talking about going back to the very roots of our nation. Her and her co-creator husband, Eric Abernathy, seem to have done an amazing job with collaborating a bunch of historical moments and things that happened throughout our history in this nation that should be of no surprise to anybody that is even familiar with the voting processes and procedures and where they started and how they've evolved over the decades. I wanted to highlight this because it drives home the point that I'm trying to make to you folks about getting involved and allowing other people who are outside of your community to project their ideas onto you and the people that are like-minded in your area. We allow others to dig into our roots and rot our growth from the core. And the idea is that we do this for the sake of convenience. The hustle and bustle of everything that we deal with on a day-to-day basis seems to be overwhelmed by the task of participating in community, by being respectful of others. And we don't see our growth or our gain or benefit from doing that for other people. And we allow others to make these choices saying that, well, you all, live together and you all fit together, so you should all do X, Y, Z. But in reality, the fact that we're all doing something different together is the beauty of it. We don't all have to conform to a similar lifestyle or a similar outcome or a similar goal or desire the same things in life. So like I said, Lila Hart, please go over to her channel, give her a like and a subscribe, listen to some of her comedy sets, and if you get the chance to watch this video, it will boggle your mind to the amount of election interference that we've had just by allowing somebody else to work in our system. So hopefully you get a chance to look at that. This video has given you something to think about. And on that note, I will see you guys on the next one.